What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Chop Sports Fight Factory right here on Premier's YouTube channel and, of course, the Premier Podcast Network. Dave Sturcio alongside Tommy D in the building. Officer Chris Payne is out patrolling the streets, keeping us safe, allowing us to do these extraordinary things like a podcast, like a show, or he's just hitting a button to make a gate go up and down. Is that what he does?
What he's doing is
he's like a toll collector at this point.
he's getting the paycheck in order to pay for these things that we're going to be doing soon.
We're trying. There's a lot going on behind the scenes of the Fight Factory. Look, I'm not giving anything away.
Nope.
I'm not saying a goddamn word, right? But it's big, and it's 8-leg big, bitch. You know, it's
Very soon we might have a huge announcement.
yeah, no, very Tony Khan-esque, leaving you at the edge of your seat, waiting for this big announcement to happen. Look, it's going to happen. What we have in store is going to happen, and we'll just leave it at that. That's it. That's all we'll do. So that'll be it.
Paying for it.
That's the show. No, this show is being powered by our friends over at Absolute Eyewear, getting involved each and every week with us. We thank Craig and Janine over there on Main Street in Woodbridge, New Jersey, and of course, right next to the train station, as you probably heard a million effing times on all those commercials that I used to do.
I remember those old commercials.
Yeah, the good old days of
right next to the train station.
Right next. Yeah, and if you saw me behind the scenes of like doing those things, and like if I mess up a word and have to do it all, I was like you doing the fight, the wrestling hour. Yeah, it's like, and you're just trying to lose your mind.
You actually recorded yourself once doing that.
You're right, and you know who told me to take that down? My father. He's like, you're cursing too much, and I was like, okay, you're right. I've had a history of now taking down posts left and right for the last couple months. As soon as you walked in here, I had to do something. Damage control, not to be confused with Bayley and those girls. But yeah, I just like, if you're going to do a show and you're going to do a podcast, just make sure you're your authentic self. Don't come to me afterward and say, I don't know if I should have said that. You know what I mean? Like, well, then don't say it. How about that? But I do appreciate and love everybody that's come into this place and has done a podcast, and I'll do everything in my power to, make everybody look good. All right. So in any event, as we said, we're already being brought to you by, of course, Absolute Eyewear. We are coming to you live from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. And starting next week, I'm proud to announce, this is huge for guys like myself and Tommy, the bearded folks of this podcast, where Payne tries to grow facial hair and fails miserably each and every week.
Looks like he's got soy sauce on his upper lip.
He's just like, he's got a summer beard, summer here, summer here.
He's got Dom's beard, Dom's beard.
Dom. Oh, yeah. It's like, and you know what? Dom even embraces the fact that he can't grow a beard. You know what I mean? Like, he knows, he's like, this looks like a prick, so I'm going to keep it. But Payne is always clean shaven. You know who tried to grow something just recently? I think Kevin Matthews tried to do a mustache and a goatee, Fu Manchu.
I can't see it with him.
Listen, he took a picture with Luke Hawks down there, doing the Dynamite tapings, or live Dynamite, whatever. And I was like, ooh, he's got to get rid of that. And lo and behold, the morning flight after, he always posts that he's like sleepy because, God forbid, he's an adult and gets up at 5 a.m. to catch a flight. But he was clean shaven. So I was like, that's that. But anyway, speaking of beards, Mad Cat Beard Care, starting next week, the official new sponsor for the Chop Sports Fight Factory and the Wrestling Hour with me and Josh Chernoff. So I know for a fact I'm going to be getting my own beard oil. I don't know what it's called or what it's going to be called, but I'm going to get some samples sent to my house to smell them, sniff them, see if I like them. And then next thing you know, this beard's going to look even better than it already does.
Tommy D's beard oil sounds pretty good too there. Buddy.
First of all, you already had barn burner sniffing powder or whatever.
Oh, I got to ease up on that.
Yeah, the only ones I used at a Dude's Gourmet was everything but the bagel. Everything minus the bagel, everything but the bagel. One of those two. It's called one of those two. But it was fantastic.
No, I got to ease up. I got to ease up on that.
Why? It's hurting your sinuses?
It's hurting my stomach.
All right. Well, don't say that out loud. He is a sponsor of the show.
Listen, not everybody is as stupid as I am. I put it on everything. I put it on my salad.
I put that shit on everything.
I put it on pizza.
That's Red's.
Soup.
Red's hot.
I put on pizza, soup. Instead of using salt, that's what I use.
All right. Well, fair. But anyway. We had ourselves a little gathering over the weekend for the WWE Royal Rumble. It was myself. It was Tommy D. It was Officer Payne joined us. There was a specific wrestler here as well who, on camera, I'm not even supposed to be like friends with, but it was Danny Moff.
Yeah.
Right, Danny Moff is here. He was enjoying himself, and of course, producer Shay was in the building. The photographer that's always here at Chop Studios was here. Stephanie, she was here. She had herself a ball. She was actually
Two,
worried.
maybe.
Well, she was worried the next morning. She's like, "Do your friends hate me?" And I was like, "Why would my friends hate you?"
Dude,
I was
honestly,
like, "Moff is in love with you." Like, I don't know.
Honestly, I'm glad that like we finally had one where it was a hit.
Well, like people here.
Son of a bitch. You know what? I forgot. We've got plenty of beer back there, and I didn't even grab one.
There is a lot of beer at Chop Studios right now, so feel free to come on down to Route 34 in Matawan to claim your beer.
We'll be here for Elimination Chamber.
Will we? Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna
Why
do
not?
That? Yeah, why the fuck not? Is that Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Saturday nights, a certain specific independent wrestling company is coming back to Saturday nights in March, and I can't wait. I can't announce that yet because I have no idea who's on the card or what's on the card. But
am I booked?
it rhymes with Schmeshel Pro. So
Am I booked on the card?
why would you be booked for do anything?
I'm
with
not
Wrestle
booked
Pro?
on the card.
Anything? I'm not.
I'm
booked.
not coming. I'm not booked on the
Because
card.
I'm not booked. But yeah. So anyway. I digress. But anyway, we had a fantastic showing here at the studio. We had ourselves a glorious Royal Rumble gathering, had some beers, had some food. Just look, it's 4 days now, 5 days in the rearview mirror. Raw's already happened, which kind of laid out some of the landscape that's going to be maybe happening over the course of the next couple of days or weeks leading up to WrestleMania. It's officially WrestleMania season. Officially, you get this point to the sign.
Oh, we don't have to sign.
We don't have to sign this year. We just point this up. Point to us. Yeah, so I guess we could start off with the Women's Royal Rumble, which went off.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Year after year, they keep doing
Fucking 10.
10. They keep upping the ante. They're getting all the surprises. They're getting all the I can't believe they're back. Naomi was there. Jordan Grace, my girl Jordan Grace. I love Jordan Grace, and
Please
she was
stay
there.
that size. Please stay that size.
What are you talking about? Jordan Grace looks great.
Yeah, stay that size.
Why would she?
Don't go back into the bodybuilding realm. Just
Tell her what
stay
to
that
do.
size,
You
please.
can't tell her what to do. Let her do her thing. She looks great. She looked the
I
part.
want them to eventually
She looked
sign
like
her.
$1 million.
Yeah, but I want them to eventually sign her. They can't sign her when she's going off doing bodybuilding competitions.
Well,
and,
look, listen,
you know.
I can't. Anyway, Naomi back, Jordan Grace back. The whole kick down the what is it? Forbidden door.
or as Triple H would say, I'm not going to use the cliched term.
Yeah, because why
about
would
a
he do
door.
that? But no, Triple H has been on fire lately. He's, quote, has the kids say, in his bag as of late with a lot of these storylines. Bringing Jordan Grace in the Women's Royal Rumble was awesome. I thought it was a great spot. She looked like $1 million. She could perform. She could go. Speaking of looking like $1 million, we got the debut of Jade Cargill. She looks fantastic. She threw out Nia Jax with ease. She actually flexed with Nia Jax on her back.
Yeah.
Like, that girl could go, man. That was a safe spot to bring her in.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's
I mean,
the
we
Royal
called
Rumble.
that.
Yeah, it's
We
the Royal
called that.
Rumble. You really can't screw up. I mean, you can screw up, but you can't screw up punches and kicks and lifts and and throw over the top. Yeah, can you mess up and not hit the ground?
Ask Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi's messed up a couple times. Liv Morgan came back at the very end, so she looks to be ready to go for her next run. So like I said, the Girls Rumble delivered. The winner, Bayley. So
I called that. Not here.
at some extent you called
here.
Bayley.
Well, here we picked Nia Jax. I changed my
Did
mind.
I even pick anybody? I don't
yeah,
even know.
we all picked Nia
It
Jax.
was a run across Nia Jax. Okay.
When I watched SmackDown and they had the Kabuki Warriors win the tag team titles, that's when I texted you guys and said Bayley's going to end up winning this Rumble because now we're going to see the breakup of Damage Control. Because, yes, Bayley said on Twitter that she's going to challenge Rhea. She's not challenging Rhea. Something's going to happen backstage.
Can we get the right?
Yeah.
Remember the Batista? The Batista. That
Something's
Something to
going to
that effect?
happen.
I love that.
Something's going to happen to where they're going to really be pushing Bayley out, and that's when she's going to turn around. She's going to challenge Io, and I think she's going to win.
I can see that, and why not? I mean, look, you can get a more in-depth look on who Bayley really is on Gabby AF over here on the YouTube channel as well. She was just a recent get. Seems like Gabby's hitting home runs as far as Royal Rumble winners is concerned because she's had Cody and her and Bayley on within the last 2 months.
She just had Ricky Starks on.
Ricky Starks was just on her show too, so pay attention to that show.
Especially a certain quote that
Stephanie
Ricky Starks
Stratton
said.
Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton,
Pulled
former
on
NXT champion.
She was there. She pulled on Bianca's hair to avoid elimination. Now, look, I'll preface this with
Dude,
this.
her hair
Lots
was
of beer
all over.
were flowing. The beers were flowing. I was getting a little tuned up. So, like, if I missed her and I'm looking at this rundown, I'm like, that happened? You know, like, I was there.
Her hair was all over the ring.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction, but not in the way we would have wanted it.
But it looks like Raw might be getting Tiffany Stratton now.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. I think it's a great get. Then we move on to Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. It finishes in a DQ. Can we talk about how good the timing and the spot of the referee
that was perfect.
That was so well delivered that you can't even question it. It gave me an old school vibe. Like, you know, and they're like, not even giving him a second chance, like throw him away or something like that. You're done. It's over.
But do they ever look up as they're counting? Like, I never see them look up as they're counting.
I mean, I guess that's a good point. But, like, you know, like I said, he's in position one. Yeah, I guess you can look up a little bit. I mean, ask really good referees like Aubrey Edwards if they look up. See, I threw that in there. So, anyway, great match.
Yeah.
Great showing. That thing continues to grow. We'll see how that plays out. They interviewed Logan Paul after. He looked like he was out on his feet. He looked like he was punch drunk to shit. So that's a thing.
KO put him. What we've seen Logan Paul do, even with Roman, he did a lot of high flying stuff. He didn't do a lot with KO. It was kind of a street fight.
It felt fighty. It felt like, let's get this going. Like I said, great match. It delivered. Now, the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship.
Underwhelmed. Don't.
Yeah, I said that on Twitter.
Yeah,
underwhelmed. I said that. I said it's a little bit of an underwhelming feel. You knew, like, a lot of people, and we put out a poll on the Twitter saying, like, who thinks Roman's losing the belt? Nobody said it. There was like 100 votes. Nobody said that Roman was losing the belt.
And it was obvious who was going to be the one to take the pin.
We said that on this show.
That was like, how does that feel? If you're AJ, how does that feel for you?
It feels like he's a 40-something-year-old man with a lot of experience, and he doesn't give a shit. He does that at this point of his career. That's not something to go nuts over. It really isn't. It's you're doing the job. You are in that role. For that reason, and again, let's see how this all plays out. Where will AJ Styles now go into the fold? I don't know. I don't know if he's even in the WrestleMania fold right now. There was some rumors about him and the Good Brothers, and maybe like
because you could see
there's tension there.
There's tension there,
and of course Mia Yim's over there, so I don't know what role she plays.
And it's kind of like with the Good Brothers, like it almost feels like Triple H snagged them just so they didn't go over.
Well, I know Gallows and Triple H are close. Like, so I know that there's some kind of friendship
because they're not
there.
really doing anything.
They're not. They're just showing up on Raw and like backstage
stuff, and that's it.
It's weird, but guess what?
You know what? If you're there, you're collecting a paycheck. It might not bother you that much, but
you're getting paid. You're getting paid to be there and to do your thing. So
at least you're on TV. So
you're on
still
TV.
Being seen.
Exactly. So the ending, obviously, Solo does get involved. Roman goes over
That's so tired now. The sweatshirt, like it's tired. They do it every time.
Well, I mean, you know you're going to get that at WrestleMania no matter what. Yeah, you know, you have to, no matter who he faces. And I'm talking about Roman Reigns. So he obviously retains. And then you fast forward to the men's Royal Rumble where there was no return other than Andrade, which we all kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah, but he looked great.
He looks great.
But other
great
than
entrance.
that, I give the men's Rumble a 3.
So, look. A lot. We talked about it last week with Vince McMahon stuff going down. We knew there was going to be some changes made. I truly believe that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be 30, and it was Sami Zayn was the last second replacement. I believe Braun Breaker was supposed to be there the whole time, and I think you probably could have had a nice little stare off between Brock and Braun. Or
could
Braun,
have been,
sorry.
but the other reports are saying that Braun was in his place. He eliminated the people that Brock was supposed to eliminate. And he was eliminated by someone that was supposed to be, or he was eliminated by Dom, who was supposed to eliminate Brock Lesnar.
Dom was supposed to eliminate Brock Lesnar?
I
Get
guess
over that. That you want to talk about not believable. But I think that Brock was supposed to be 30. And look, it kind of stinks for Sami Zayn to get the reaction that he got. Yeah, did the crowd sing his song? Sure. But a lot of those first-person videos that are surfacing, like, can't wait for 30, and they're like, what? You know, like, they're very underwhelmed. They're very upset about it.
It was the same reaction that we all had in here. The crowd went dead.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
The crowd went dead.
Yeah.
Absolutely dead.
Obviously, CM Punk was in the Rumble. The winner of this thing was Cody Rhodes. It came down to those two. And Gunther, which was in there. He was in the fold for the Final Four. We all know this specifically because we were involved in a pool that was set up by my boy Rich. We won money. It paid for something that we needed to pay for. Boom, everybody's happy. Apparently, I was yelling for Cody Rhodes like he was my son.
Oh, yeah.
So in that part, I don't remember.
Point, we all were because it was like...
That was our number. We drew him, Cody. I was like, all right, then he better fucking win. Unfortunately, CM Punk goes down with an apparent triceps injury. And I say apparent because hear me out. Obviously, the whole thing goes off. Cody wins, points to the sign. Boop. Saw the Too Sweet thing? Did you see the guns?
As you were doing your announcement, the beginning announcement.
Oh, yeah. So I noticed there was a little homage to his boys, whether that be the Bucks or whether that be Omega
it's
or
both,
any of the...
Because the gun was for Omega.
Sure. So,
good for Cody.
Overall, and by the way, one of my most successful videos that I posted for myself, we got a little bit of my guy, Pat McAfee, making his return to not only the commentary team, but his entrance into the Rumble was hilarious. He gets up, he goes in there, Omos is in there, Braun Breaker's in there. He comes in, he thinks he's going to do his thing, and he's like, I'm second guessing it, gets on the ropes, gets out. Then he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm going in. And then he does it again and eliminates himself. And his commentary when he got back to the desk was like, did you see those things? You know, like, you see the size of that guy?
I mean, realistically, what would you do if you
walk the right the fuck out?
The fuck out.
Just not a good situation for him.
I want to get your opinion on this because there's some rumors going around that when McIntyre hit the DDT and Punk, apparently tore his tricep, he rolled over to the... And Jessica Carr was on the outside.
They said, fuck my tricep or something.
Somebody was, and it could be just a dirt sheet writer, was saying that he had said, let Cody win.
Let Cody win?
Because he couldn't finish.
You think Punk was supposed to win the Rumble?
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing with these dirt sheets, right? Like, is it a plausible thing? Well, maybe.
Okay. Well, let's get to Raw, because this is where I think there's some kind of Fishy McFisherson shit going on here.
Well, and then I could bring up something that you had said on the show.
What?
In episodes prior to that. So,
okay.
Go ahead.
So here we go. So Raw comes out. By the way, new commentary team, Cole, McAfee over there on Raw.
Love
Perfect. We needed it. And now SmackDown, I believe, is getting Corey Graves and Wade Barrett, which is going to be Corey Graves. I wonder who's doing play-by-play. And I think Corey's got the chat,
but
like the lips for it.
Who's the heel commentator there?
Yeah, because they just fired the other guy.
They're both heel commentators. Just like Raw.
You could just flip the switch. Corey Graves can just be encouraging and call the match as he sees it.
Yeah, that's not Corey Graves.
But you're not going to see Wade Barrett on play-by-play. Not going to do it. He's the analyst. He's the one who's been in the ring. I mean, I know Corey is too, but most recently, I guess you could say, right? So that's interesting. That'll be, I'm excited for it. But anyway, CM Punk comes out in a sling. Comes out, says, not his year, says, references the Cubs.
Who thought he was retiring? Payne?
It just seemed that way. Like, he's got some, listen, that promo was very, very well delivered. The message was very, very heartfelt. Talked about guys beating cancer and battling that, and like, this is nothing compared to what they're dealing with, and I understand that. I don't think he's hurt. And this is why I'm saying he's not hurt. If you tore your tricep the way you claim to have done it, would he have dropped that sling and started throwing bombs with his bad arm? No. Well, you don't do that.
Right, but to the point that you had made once before, if it's totally torn, you can't tear it anymore.
Fair. I don't know. As of right now, which is again 4 or 5 days removed from the Rumble, I don't think CM Punk has a torn tricep.
If it is, then WWE, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre are playing it up very well.
Yes.
Because did you see Drew McIntyre's video that he posted on social media yesterday?
Like I dreamed of days like this. Did you see that one?
Well, yeah. He put up of him in his gym, and I guess his wife was videoing him, and he goes, "You can't skip tricep day."
Yeah.
And he starts doing triceps.
I think, and again, a torn tricep will take you out for a long time. That's why with this hardcore in the paint that Drew McIntyre is doing, you can't drag that so far. Like, you can't go into like 3-4 months down the road during his recovery and like, remember when I hurt your tricep? Like, no, it's over now. So that's why I think there's something to this, that there is so much heat right now with Drew McIntyre. Because why, Tommy? Because he has failed to deliver anything good, right? So now you hate Drew McIntyre basically more than anybody else on the roster, if you're a fan.
And that's what he's going for.
And that is what he's going for. And what better way than to claim to have said, I've dreamt of this day of hurting CM Punk. I don't buy it. It'll be interesting to see maybe a moment where Punk either, McIntyre thinks he's got a open challenge at WrestleMania, and it's Punk. You know what I mean? Like something to that effect, because I don't know why. Maybe it's just, again, maybe we're just too new into like the WrestleMania season. But I think Punk is I'm not even going to say he's fine. Maybe he did tweak it. Maybe he did strain it. Maybe he did pull it. Maybe he did partially tear it. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I don't buy it right now.
Because the way McIntyre was stomping on it Monday night, if it was
dude.
torn, it would make sense. If it was completely torn, it would make sense.
I just feel like they were going too hard in the paint to not have a finished story with those two in a couple months. Because if he tore his tricep, he's gone until next year or something, or the end of the year or whatever. Like maybe Survivor's here. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see that being a long drawn out thing. I think that this is a work, and I believe that WWE got their hands on a lot of the dirt sheets that started to say Punk probably, I think he tore his tricep. They could have let them like, ooh, let's roll with this. Let's play into the fact that our star is now hurt, right? So that's why I think it's a different story. And I'm not calling anybody a faker. I'm saying if he tore his tricep, he tore his tricep. But I just don't believe in the idea that this one's going to be dragged out for 7 months. 8 months, however long it takes to fully recover from a torn tricep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, it's going to be interesting to see. And Punk never said he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. He just said he wasn't going to be main eventing WrestleMania.
Fair. Another fair point. So, again, very interested to see how this plays out. Judgment Day comes out. They got the DIY for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Poor R-Truth. He gets called out. He gets jumped. Obviously, there's a payoff coming for R-Truth. The Miz came out, tried to do his thing.
I still don't think that R-Truth is done with the Judgment Day. I still think he's going to think that he's still in the Judgment Day.
Like it's just tough love or something like that. Like, it's all
you jump me in.
It's your bad.
You jump me in. It's okay.
Yeah. So that happened.
That happened.
Shayna and Zoe defeat Chelsea and Piper for, I guess, a little bit more of a rub for those girls to move up in the tag team ranks. Now, here comes the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes promo. So now...
Dude, absolutely cinematic, perfect. I know people are bitching about it because they're like, oh, that's a cheap payoff, blah, 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 blah. It should be... Listen, I've said the same thing.
We've all said the same thing about this title.
Giving Cody that title would seem to be like, oh, well, here's your consolation prize, right? But the way Seth delivered that promo, if you sit there and think about it, he's not wrong.
No, everything he said was factual.
That is the Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair. That's this belt.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they haven't used it in a long time, but that's this belt. The World Heavyweight Championship belt.
Does it mean a little less because it's not the WWF title, that the Winged Eagle, that Cody, that Dusty never held? I think it means less
because it hasn't been used in forever.
Right.
If they kept that around, it would have some sort of meaning. Now, listen, is that the way that they're going to go? I don't know. Would it make sense? Because everybody keeps talking about The Rock, right? Would that make sense for Cody to win, to, headline WrestleMania
One of the nights.
one of the nights, and then, Rock and Roman night 2? Because, and I'm not, night 2 WrestleMania always seems to struggle, right?
Because it's a follow that mentality.
We were here for night 2.
Was it night? What were here?
We were
night
here for
one?
night 2.
Oh, okay.
And it was a million commercials. So
Well, that's because we're not Peacock Plus.
Yeah, but if we were Peacock Plus, we'd be watching
a bunch of hype videos.
Yeah, the same hype videos. It's a slower pace night, and then you get the main event, right? What's going to keep people interested? The Rock, night 2.
Fair. Now I have a theory, and it's not my theory. I can't take credit for it.
Is it Austin's theory?
No.
Oh.
Not even a theory. You talk about long-term storytelling. So if a gun was at my head right now and asked me, Dave, do you think that Cody Rhodes finishes the story at WrestleMania? I say no. And the reason why I say no is this. We've seen what could happen in a year's time. We've seen The Rock and John Cena build out an event for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it paid off, and it was awesome. There's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts happening in the WWE as far as networks, this, that, and the third. What if, hypothetically, when Dusty Rhodes held the championship high and it was the Dusty finish,
Mm-hmm.
do you know where that was?
I should know this.
You
but I
should
don't.
know this, Mr. Historian. It was at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden.
Ooh.
What if on the very first day of 2025, the Monday Night Raw that makes their debut on Netflix is at the Garden? Let's pretend hypothetically we could do that. What if Cody finishes the story in the same building that his father couldn't do it and wins the world championship on the first Netflix Raw of the new year?
That would
All over the place.
No, that would
and I really didn't.
You don't get any better than that. Honestly, and it's commercial free.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to worry about age restriction.
The world is tuning in.
Yeah.
You could bleed all over the place. You could do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And you can finish the story
Ooh.
long-term, long go. Because right now, it feels like because of the injuries and because of things getting twisted and The Rock coming in as the board of director guy and now the XFL, UFL, whatever the fuck it's called, is coming out, Rock has to be present. The Rock ain't going to be no fucking referee. The Rock is going to be in action against Roman Reigns. For me, that takes the wind out of the sail of a Cody story.
Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
does. So for Cody to say, yeah, I'll go against Seth, and now everybody and their mothers are probably going to say, oh, well, Cody's going to beat Seth then. What if that doesn't happen? And Seth Rollins wins again. And Cody's just like, I can't win the WWE championship. I can't win this championship. What the fuck am I going to do? And it's just the story continues and whatever feud you want to build. And then finally, towards the end of the year, you get this thing where it's like, oh, wait, Cody is still here. Cody's still trying to finish this goddamn story. Because look, once he finishes the story, then what?
My opinion?
Sure.
And this is going to be good for you to clip.
I don't do those.
Yeah.
As he clears his throat for this clip.
Cody wins the championship, right?
Yeah.
Now,
At Mania.
it doesn't have to be just that Mania. It could
Okay,
be
whatever.
the Netflix that you're talking about.
Okay.
Somebody comes out to help him because, whoever he's facing has somebody coming out to help them. He wins. He turns.
Heel?
Heel.
Oh.
You get heel Cody because again, okay, the story's finished. Now you got to start a new story. If he stays a babyface, it's gonna fall flat. Once
That's what
he
I'm saying.
wins,
Eventually,
it's
people
gonna
are going to
fall
be like,
flat.
okay, cool, now what?
So now you turn him, and he could be the perfect heel because he literally has to change nothing but his promos. You still come out in a suit, very professional.
Yeah.
Now you're coming out with the suit, your belt, shitting on everybody.
I'm going to take a stab at who would his first big-time opponent after turning his back on the world.
If he's still here, CM Punk.
I say John Cena.
Cena's gonna be done by then.
I don't know, man.
No, I say
If you preserve John Cena for that long, however long it takes, John Cena's not done. I'm sorry. Like, he might keep alluding to it, like, oh, I don't know how many of these guys got left. Everybody says that. If you're Stone Cold Steve Austin, you had to say that because of your actual injuries.
Now,
if you're Triple H, you said, I had a heart attack, I can't do it anymore. Now, if you're Shawn Michaels, you can't do that because God knows what.
You can bill that to be a moneymaker because...
And have Cody go over.
Yeah, but if, let's just say, have Cody go over. But if Cena wins, what happens?
Cena won't win.
Yeah, but if he wins, what happens?
I have no idea.
He surpasses Ric Flair.
Oh, perfect.
So you can bill that.
Yeah.
I was thinking
title versus career.
I was thinking CM Punk because they never got to face each other in AEW. Mm-hmm. They never got to face each other in WWE. They have that history with each other.
You know, Cody threw out Punk 10 years ago in the Rumble.
He did, didn't he?
I think I saw a picture. And I might be wrong there, but I thought I saw a picture.
That was dark-haired Cody.
Dark-haired Cody. But anyway, this whole thing, it's WrestleMania season. All the stories are starting to boil. It's going to be fun.
You know, the most iconic photo from Rumble this year, even though Cody's was amazing when he's standing up there and they pictured it perfect.
Of course they did.
Bayley. You know why Bayley's was the best?
Why?
Because the entire fucking crowd was pointing at the sign with her. When they took that shot of
That's
her
a great
pointing,
shot.
The entire fucking crowd was pointing with her. You guys were dead for half the show, but that one shot was fucking amazing.
First of all, that was the first match. So you know they were into it no matter what. In any event. So that was the Seth Cody stuff. We'll kind of all see how that plays out.
There's so many ways they can go with this.
Of course, and that's what got us talking.
Good enough to do it.
It's got us talking about it. It's got every podcast known to man talking about what could possibly happen with this. My only rock solid, no pun, rock solid concrete thing I think is going to happen is Roman and Rock. That happens. Whether it be a triple threat match and you insert Cody, because I've had that thought in my head too. I've had the thought of Cody's going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night, right? And if you're watching this today on a Friday, then he's going to be on SmackDown tonight. If you're watching this on a Saturday, he already did it. I do that every week now just to fucking around. But what if Cody comes out and says, look, Seth made a compelling argument, but my story is with Roman. I need to finish the story versus Roman. What if The Rock comes out right there and says, with all due respect to your story, that's fine, but blood is thicker than whatever the fuck story you're trying to pull. I need to finish my shit and go finish the head of the table thing. And then all of a sudden you got yourself a triple threat-esque. I'm talking triple threat banger like Triple H, Benoit, Shawn Michaels had WrestleMania 20.
But what if, I've been thinking about this. When The Rock came out and cut that promo, the head of the table promo.
Yeah.
What if it had absolutely nothing to do with him wrestling and everything to do with the TKO thing?
No. Because he would have said it. He would have said it when he signed on. I told you I'd be the head of the table. Or something to that effect.
I don't know.
It has everything to do with Roman Reigns. It has nothing to do with
It very well could be. It's just odd. Because he's the head of the table in the...
He's not even the head of the table there. He's just a member of the seat. He's got a seat at the board of directors.
Yeah, but he's the head of something, it said.
Fine, but he ain't the head of the head of the table thing is Roman. Let's see what happens on SmackDown. Let's see if Seth Rollins shows up on SmackDown.
I mean, I think a triple threat match would be good, given Rock's been out of the game for a very long time.
And guess what? What if Cody pins The Rock? Then you have Roman Reigns stay as strong as bull and loses the title after all this time. Or what if Roman goes over on The Rock? Cody is now still strong and doesn't get pinned by Roman Reigns and gets screwed.
I still say you make the turn, and he pins The Rock. Roman is distraught, and then Paul Heyman leaves with Cody. You've got to turn him heel. You can't keep him a face no matter when he wins, either this year or next year.
Because you think they learned their lesson with guys like John Cena, Roman Reigns, when they were trying so hard to make them the top baby faces, and the crowd was just like, eat shit, we don't like these guys. You know what I mean? Like, and they're at Stone Cold. Every time you try to turn somebody babyface, uber babyface, the crowd hates it.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, you have a point. in regards to turning Cody Rhodes after he finishes the story where all the kids see. I look at Cody Rhodes' next turn, if it does happen, as big as Hulk Hogan, turning on all the kids and the vitamins and the prayers and going NWO. This would make kids shattered.
Well, yeah, because he hands the belt out.
Right.
You
He's
always
got
see
all
him
the
signing
kids
the
in his
belts.
corner. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be some Hogan-esque shit. Something they missed on Cena because they could have did it.
And I got to say this for sure. Like, if you follow Cody on social media, the things he does for the fans,
dude,
it
goes without saying, man. He's one of the greatest people on the planet, let alone
not doing it,
WWE superstars.
And he's not doing it just for popularity. He's doing it because he grew up a wrestler's kid. He knows how important these guys are to kids that are watching the product.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you don't get a better human being. And a DDP at the end of the Royal Rumble.
Saw that.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, it would be some fucking seismic shift if you turn Cody Rhodes heel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Jey Uso.
It's the Cena heel turn that we've been calling for
That's
the
what I'm
past 15
saying.
years.
The old, what is it, CHT.
Yep.
It's the Cena heel turn that the internet wrestling community has wanted since day one, which, by the way, nobody tends to remember that Cena was a big-ass heel for a long
he started
time.
as a heel.
You know, and then all of a sudden, like, people loved him, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, we've had enough, and then they hated his guts. Anyway. Jey Uso defeats Bronson Reed. We talked about Bronson Reed. At least I texted Bronson Reed. I said that they've lost this with the guy. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with him. You can't have him losing clean to Jey Uso. And then no disrespect to Uso because he's one of the best going. But I don't know, man. What's next for
How
Bronson
much reality do you got to suspend when it comes to? I mean, and I get it. People could bring up, well, Rey Mysterio had beaten
Big Show.
Yeah. So it's.
I get it, but it's just like, ugh.
I feel that they're rooting the guy because he's basically the he's not Australian, the New Zealand version of Bam Bam.
Yeah, but he's not. This is not the way to do it. You're not billing this guy good. You're not booking this guy well. And I don't like talking about the booking of people because I ain't in charge. But like, if you want me to believe that this guy's going to be a killer, then you can't have him losing clean to Jey Uso.
No, and the crowd's not into it when
and
he
then
comes
pretending
out.
to be some kind of killer the following week with a new vignette or some shit. It's grown tired, and now it's just like, all right, what do you do now? Andrade officially signs with Raw. We talked about his return, so he'll be signing with Raw. Nick Aldis was receiving a call from Braun Breaker on the way out saying, and now Braun Breaker, Trick, is that his name? Trick and Carmelo Hayes are all booked for SmackDown.
The crowd for Whoop That Trick was unbelievable when Trick Williams came out to help Carmelo Hayes.
When was this?
SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievable.
So they're all three of those guys are slated to be on SmackDown tomorrow night. So that's exciting. Gunther defeats Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. Don't know what they're doing there. You want my guess?
Sure.
And I don't know if this, I have no knowledge of this. I just think this might be a thing. If Imperium keeps dogging, just dragging these fucking guys around, right? And now Gunther is a part of it. Do we see the return of Big E?
I hope.
Right? We're all crossing our fingers that this guy wrestles again.
I know Big E's been saying that.
But man, oh man, what a spot it would be for him to help out his boys against
Big E's been,
trio.
Doing some videos saying that, he wants to be extra cautious. His exact words, I didn't get into the wrestling business to be paralyzed.
Correct. And unfortunately, we've seen it happen, and it lead to horrible things with Draws and just other guys that we've seen.
What about the guy in Mexico with Rey Mysterio? Died,
yeah. I mean, look, call it fake again. I dare you. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is not
I missed
ballet.
my opportunity here in the studio that night. You're going to get a video of me taking chops from Danny Muff.
I don't do that. I've taken a chop that still isn't healed, and that was 2014.
It's okay. It's fine. But it's going to happen. We got to have him in here.
You're one of those guys that just like, oh, just do it. I want to do it. Just don't. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen.
I'm warning you.
It's for hits. It's for hits, and it's to go viral.
Yeah, great.
That's my part of this show.
The Kabuki Warriors,
to do the
speaking of
dumb
viral,
shit that you guys won't do.
defeats Tegan and Natalya for the women's championship. Nobody really cares about that. Rhea Ripley came out to tell Bayley that if she challenges her WrestleMania, Rhea will win. Nia Jax comes out, attacked Rhea. Damage Control looked on.
There's no story.
There
with
is no
Bayley and
story.
Rhea.
Not yet.
There's no
at
story.
least.
Yeah, but you can't build one for WrestleMania with those two because they're on two completely different planes.
I agree.
Two completely different planes.
And of course, Raw ended with Drew McIntyre defeating Sami Zayn. Again,
Drew.
Yeah, let's just see how that all plays out.
I love this new Drew McIntyre. I love it.
But again, it's good for now. It will get stale, especially if he keeps verbally attacking somebody who's not around. It gets dumb.
It's very heelish.
It is, but like, pick on somebody else now that's around. How are you going to do that? You're really capitalizing on this shit, and that's why I think this whole thing is just a little bit of a work. I don't know. We'll see. AEW. And that'll do it for the show. No, look, couple cool matches. John Moxley defeats Jeff Hardy.
I feel like a proud dad.
Listen,
when you text on Wednesday night, I feel like such a proud dad.
There's a couple things that are starting to bother me.
It's amazing.
Listen, I'm not joining the anti-AEW thing. I'm not
anti-AEW. I'm just anti-shit.
I love the people that work there that I know.
Yeah.
I love the guys that are in charge that are down there. And they're all making money. Everybody wins when you're making money. However, there's just a certain quality. You know what it is? It's just like, by rule, you can't compare the two products.
No.
But you do overall. I look at Raw and I look at SmackDown and then I watch Dynamite or Collision and I'm just like, it's not even the same stratosphere. You know what I mean? And it's no disrespect. It's not like quality or a video or it's not angles. It's just like there's certain things that just don't go pop for me anymore. And AEW, there are certain things like main event, Swerve Strickland defeating Rob Van Dam in a hardcore match. I'm all for that because now next week you get Swerve and Hangman. Winner gets Joe at Revolution. Let's fucking go because I want to see Swerve
go against Jeff Hardy, or was that last week?
That was last week. John Moxley defeated Jeff Hardy at this one. So Wardlow, another thing. Has anything come out from that?
Wardlow says his knee is fine. Didn't look fine to me last night.
Did not look fine. He tried the power bomb. The whole thing shook and gave out right away. I was like, there goes your ACL.
Dropped him.
Yeah, he dropped him right on his head. And that's another part of it that's just like, God, man, if you were just a little bit more experienced, you would have known what to do and not drop somebody on their fucking head. But again, you can't control it when your whole knee gives out.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't look good.
Anybody who can attest to that, it's me.
And me.
I can't, yeah, right. And I can't fully blame the guy because that's the sharp pain that you're not expecting because, the adrenaline's pumping, right? Like you shouldn't be able to feel that. No, but he's saying his knee is fine. I really don't think it is. But
we'll have to wait and see.
They might be varsity bluesing him backstage.
Yeah, Chris Jericho defeats Kyle Fletcher. I watched that entire match.
Ronald McDonald?
Jericho's the fucking what is it, at sea? Rock of Age? What is it even called? I don't even know. The Jericho Cruise?
The Jericho Cruise.
The Jericho Cruise went off and great. Cardona was there. The Big Show was there. It looked like LaGreca was there. So there was a lot of cool shit. And again, shout out to LaGreca doing his own thing on February 10th at the Gramercy Theater. Go check him out. I'll be there. Tommy will be there. We're going to have a good time that night. Anyway, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson tried to get Darby to align with them. Obviously didn't work. Okay, don't remember that. I do remember the Big Bill and
Ricky Starks
promo with Sting and them. And Sting! I did like Sting's part of it. I think, a whole like, hey, I respected you. You had the balls to step up to me on day one, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Big Bill came out and delivered that Sean Donovan-esque, and we're going to take our frustration out on you and on this day and on this night and 1, 2, 3. Did a very hokey
because he's not
promo.
The promo
he's not a
guy.
talker. No, he's not.
That's
he needs
why
Enzo.
They had Enzo with him.
He needs Enzo. But in any event, there's.
I'm still an Enzo fan. I hope they get back together somewhere.
That'd be great. I think it would be that would be a very big thing.
When we went to the big event, it was great because he was great with the kids. He was teaching.
Enzo?
He was teaching the kids to do that like chicken thing that he used to do.
Oh, yeah.
That was hysterical. Watching him do that with a bunch of kids.
And again,
they were the same height.
Enzo was right. Enzo, very funny dude. All power to him. Hope he's doing well. But yeah, Swerve Strickland next weekend. Hangman, they're getting their match. Winner
Just give him the fucking belt.
I think Strickland's the next man in line. But that's the problem, man. You just had Joe go over on the biggest champion they've ever had. How fast can you take it off Joe?
How much longer do you think Samoa Joe's got?
bro, every time I see him, he still goes. He still fucking brings the house. Like, he is still that dude.
They just the people just wanted that belt off MJF, which to me is stupid. They just
well, I
wanted
mean,
the
if he's
belt.
hurt, he's hurt. He's got to go get fixed.
Right, but they wanted the belt off of him. A lot of the people there were saying that his title reign was lackluster. And blah. The same shit that they said about Hangman Adam Page when CM Punk came back, and they were saying that Hangman was boring and blah blah blah.
I heard
blah,
they're bringing back the ranking system.
Yeah.
Did anybody give a shit? When they're like, I heard him on comedy. I forget who it says. Like, and don't forget the ranking system's coming back soon. I'm like, soon? What the fuck are we doing?
Well, that was their
preseason.
That was their excuse for Hook to go against Samoa Joe. Hook's 28-1. Yeah, 27 of those came by way of fucking AEW Dark.
It's not wrong.
And nothing against Hook. I'm a huge fan of Hook, and I was a huge fan of his dad. It's just doesn't make sense.
I still think there has to be some kind of way where Taz gets physical. I know he could probably barely.
I don't think he can, man.
That's what I'm saying. I know he could. Like, I'm sure he's banged up.
I think
but
his,
man,
his
if he came to the
body's just
rescue
shot.
for like Hook for one day, like people would go fucking nuts. And
I kind of like the way Taz is doing it, where he's not talking about him being his son every 5 minutes. Right.
Well, it's like kind of like how King and Brian Christopher. You didn't really until it was the end where it's Jerry's kid. For a while, you didn't even know.
I never knew.
You never knew until the end. Anyway, news, SmackDown's commentary team, we talked about it. And guys, I don't know if you knew this, but Tony Khan's got a big fucking announcement next week. Tune in to find out. What could it possibly be? The ranking system's back? Like
Either Forbidden Door or a show being in Boston to where Mercedes will debut and then leave 6 months later.
Whatever it is, the announcements have been falling flat. Hopefully this one's a good one for their company's sake.
This one's probably going to be a good one. At least they're going to tune in for that because everybody's waiting to hear if it's either Okada, Mercedes, the Forbidden Door. It's got to be Forbidden Door because the CM whatever the fuck that they're teaming up with. All the luchadors that came running out.
Yeah.
So
they all jumped Moxley the other day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
Is that a AAA thing? Are they involved with them now?
I guess. I don't know.
Interesting.
And I feel bad that I don't know. I like lucha wrestling, but there's only like so much you can do.
I'm an
without
expert on
knowing it.
lucha
You
wrestling.
are, actually.
Find me on commentary at Wrestle, whatever the fuck they call it, Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, I mean, half the people that you commented on are in fucking AEW every week.
The Kingo. Fucking love that guy.
But yeah, so I think that's what it's going to be. It just fucking debut Mercedes already.
Yeah,
Please just do it.
Or maybe it's just not happening. I don't know. Maybe it's not in the cards. Who knows? For me, I'd get it over with. Will it get a big pop? I don't know. Look, they're trying so hard for Deanna and the other one in the
Tony
Storm's thing, but that's like again, like they had this promo yesterday where she's like, "Remember the tattoo?" It's like you're going back to the well, man. Like, all right, we know about the tattoo. Talk about something else. Do something else. Evolve the story.
I'm not a fan of the timeless Tony Storm gimmick.
I think it's got to go away with this feud.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it.
Like maybe Deanna wins and then it's over.
I like Tony Storm outside of the dumb shit that she was doing with Saraya where they were like spray painting each other's asses even though there was no paint going on the fucking pants. I was over that. I like Tony Storm as a performer and I've always liked Deanna Purrazzo.
She's great.
Always
She's great.
Jersey Italian chick.
Jersey's own Deanna Purrazzo.
She can go in the ring.
Another guest of Gabby AF. She's got them all. But yeah, so that's this week in wrestling. Obviously, Royal Rumble was great. Raw was good. You got SmackDown coming up.
Royal Rumble was good. Raw was great.
Listen, and Raw's only going to get better, I think.
I'm going to be down the middle. I'm going to shit on WWE when they do stupid shit, and that Royal. For the news that had come out last week, that Royal Rumble needed to hit, and it didn't hit. Especially when, Triple H was saying, the ending is going to be like crack.
Well, maybe they had something completely different, and Punk got hurt, and Brock was removed, and all of a sudden these things...
Brock being it, Brock would have been a nice pop, but it was expected for him to be there. I don't know why, they didn't have any of the TNA. That was the perfect opportunity for Nick Nemeth to come back to the WWE for that one night.
It's too soon.
It doesn't matter. It would have been perfect for that one night, just for the Royal Rumble.
Maybe Moose.
That would have been cool, but how many of the WWE fans know Moose?
I think if you're a wrestling fan, you know Moose.
You know,
I think.
but they all know Dolph Ziggler.
Fair. So we'll see how it all plays out. Obviously, be sure to check back with the Fight Factory each and every week right here on Premier's YouTube channel. Obviously, Chris Payne is missed. He'll be back here next
Is
week.
he, though?
I mean, debatable. I mean, he usually just complains about a lot of things.
I mean, the stuff that he's brought here, like this nice belt. That was very nice of
I
you,
had
Chris.
somebody actually take a picture with it today. One of the guys renting out the studio was like, man, this belt's great. And I was like, yeah, just don't mind the guy's name on it. Nobody really cares about him. So keep tabs on the Fight Factory social medias. There are some big things in the works. This summer is going to be historic. And trust me when we tell you that, it's going down. Keep your eyes open. So for Dave Sturcio, of course, Tommy D, and Chris Payne from wherever the hell he is, and of course, producer Shay for providing me with all this fun information. This has been another episode of the Chop Sports Fight Factory. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you guys next time. Can I just...